No, listen. If you come down to the ground, you put it like that. Ready.
Espérate.
Hello everyone, this is Shui Chen from Holy Singing Academy.
Hello, my name's Amanda. I have been Shui's friend and patient and student for about 4 years now.
How did we meet?
We met because we did our master's in nutrition at University of Michigan in Ann Arbor together.
Remember we had food?
Well, I looked around and I saw everybody, and then I saw the table that Shui was sitting in, and I said, I want to go sit with that person. And I went there, and that was the best decision. The best energy at that table. That was the best table.
I remember that you just came from Miami and we were warning you about the snow, driving in snow. You're like, don't tell me, like that. But you did so well.
I know, I was so scared. I had never been this far up north living or even in winter. So it was very scary for me to make a transition. Let's just say that I feel like a complete different person from who I was in that moment.
So when I got to school, and the first thing I loved to do was to get study groups together. And we had the best people. We have
Diversity.
Mm-hmm. And I remember it was at a project. You were leading the project, but we didn't really know you.
Oh, yeah. So we had a project together, and we formed the group team. And this project was not due for like maybe 2 months. But Shui Chen wanted to get it done immediately. But, coming from my bachelor's, I said, this lady doesn't really know that we have assignments every week. So we're going to get to it when we get to it. But she kept texting me. She kept saying, Amanda, how come? Amanda.
Because we wanted to have a group review of her work in Malaysia on Saturday, and we'll do a final review, and we'll sign off and submit before Sunday.
I said, I will get to it later this week. And
Saturday.
Then you said,
yeah.
You are our leader. You are supposed to be getting us all together and telling us what to do. And I said, don't worry about it. We're going to get to it. And then we did that. And afterwards, the project was successful and you trusted me.
Yay! I have a people on the bus, the school bus, and approaching me said, would that be okay if I join your study group? And I have to think about it. Like, you remember Rahim wanted to join? I said, but that boy was sitting all the way up there, all the way on top.
Yes, very far.
Very far, but he was good in his, presentation stuff. So he asked me 2 times, and we discussed, and we let him in.
This is exclusive membership only. Yeah, we eventually spent so much time together. We eventually were roommates as well. And everything, just our life throughout those 2 years was so much fun.
Much fun.
We learned so much, and we met so many new people, so many new characters, and we both had so many hardships and heartbreaks, and also many happiness and laughters. So much laughter, even in the bad moment. We were laughing every single day.
It was so much fun.
Every single day.
She took some documentary, different kind of photos and videos of me doing stupid things. And when we had to rush to school and take the parking spot in order to get to class on time, but some people were parked illegally, like we could, in the turnaround place. They shouldn't be parking there, but it's none of our business. We already found our parking, so we will be okay. But she was video filming and taking down their license plates and called the campus parking security.
I know, because you care so much about people and about the world, and you want everything to be in the right place. You were so angry, and I was laughing so hard.
And I was moving the cones around, make sure that people don't park at the zebra, they slanted the lines, but they moved the cones and they parked it, and I have to report them, man.
The rest is history because you wanted everything to be done. Everybody has to have consideration for everybody.
Exactly, right? So tell me about the craziness that you saw I presented.
Didn't know about them. And then I remember one time I bought salt. This was very early in my journey. I bought salt. It was the iodized salt that everybody gets. And then for some reason, I went to look at the cupboard. No salt. And I said, but I know that I bought salt. Where is the salt? And then I was looking everywhere, could not find. I text Shui. She said I removed it.
I removed it and put it underneath the kitchen sink. And I said that is for melting
Cleaning.
the ice in the driveway. Something
Like that.
cleaning.
Exactly. And then I said, how come? And then she said it has aluminum.
Yeah.
And then I was like, so? But she did not explain. She was sending me one-word text messages. I was very confused.
Aluminum.
Aluminum. We're both not native English speakers, so please excuse us. But I was laughing so hard because I could not find the salt. And then I searched up why. Why no iodine salt and the aluminum and all that stuff, and I found so many things, and eventually everything that you were telling me was confirmed. And
It's just that make people cuckoo, make people stupid, and then they call it what? Alzheimer's or some kind of disease.
Exactly.
But we put aluminum chloride into the salt. But commercially, they use a lot of those to marinate things.
Exactly. And not all of that. That's not the only thing that has aluminum. There's many things that have aluminum. So we are really just having too much.
So salt. What else?
So salt. And then I never thought that you were crazy. I thought that you were intense. But but one of the things that I really noticed is how you just had so much energy every single day. And just great energy, just really good chi. And that was my earliest memory, is just knowing that you were up, like it was like 6 a.m. You were like, it was noon or 1 p.m. It was like party already. And I just remember thinking that. And then I remember you telling me all the time, you need kelp, you need this, you need that. And I didn't really know like why. I didn't really know what you meant. But over time, you kept teaching me stuff, and you told me too about my pots and pans. You said that is toxic.
What was the pot? It's like
the first one that I got was the Teflon one.
Teflon one.
Yeah, so that one was the one that I had before. But then as soon as you started teaching me about all these things, I slowly started changing things one by one. As soon as you told me about something, I look into it.
And things disappeared.
And things disappeared, and I would change things little by little. Right?
Yes, you did.
So that's how it started.
What other things? What about the things I did?
One time, I did not know that you did coffee enemas. You talked a lot about coffee enemas, but I was too afraid to ask what that was. But then one time I remember you had this up and down machine. Do you remember? That up and down machine, I don't know what it's called.
Inversion table.
Inversion table. One time, I remember I woke up and the first thing that I saw was you on that inversion table. And I said, this is my person.
180-degree inversion. Upset.
And then started talking a lot, and the inversion table, and I remember, I'm like, what is she doing? It is 10 a.m. Why is she on the inversion table right now? And talking.
That was so fun. We put it in our dining room.
I know. We had it in our dining room. So the whole house, we called it Goddess Headquarters. The whole house was designed to have the best chi possible. We had the birds outside, the flowers outside, and all different things.
Front porch and back porch.
Front porch.
The front porch was set up to be tea times, and it had the tables out, and just when people visit us, like our classmates, I will serve teas and a little dessert, a little snack things in the front porch. But in the afternoon, we'll just move to the back, and sometimes we do bathing, right? Sunbathing.
Yes.
And then sometimes we could wear very minimum clothes, and then I line the curtains like bed sheets on the railing, so
and
we
towels.
can towels, and it will be as exposed as possible.
One time I had no clothes and I was out there and I was doing sunbathing, and the UPS driver came very close. I said, "This is my time." Poor UPS driver is gonna be traumatized. And then he came very close. I don't know if he saw me. I don't think he did, but I was very scared because I used to know someone who was a brother of the UPS driver.
I remember that now. But we were talking about what about the other side with our neighbor? They're old people, right?
Yes. So we
maybe
had
okay.
We had old people, and then they would be indoors all day, and they must have seen something at some point, but very courteous, very, very discreet, did not say anything. But we were just doing our medicine, we were just living holistically and then working very hard. So we would work hard and heal hard.
That was so good, those afternoons. And then we have study group coming in, and big tables, always big tables, and studying. And we also had so much fun too. And Thanksgiving we ate together, and there was a Peking duck party.
We did Peking duck. Yes, that
I
was
already
the
made
first
two
time.
ducks, and then they say it's not enough. I know what you mean. Not enough, because everybody wanted more piece. You cannot just take 2 pieces. But anyway, so the lady who came to Peking duck party, eventually she passed away. The very old lady.
Yes.
She passed in sleep.
But she passed peacefully.
90-some years old.
I remember she was so happy when she came to party, and she was thanking you so much for working with her. And she said that you made her feel like more free and like more freedom. And I just thought that was so beautiful. And she had great chi.
She had great chi, and she gave me gifts, which were toilet paper. I really appreciate, because through the pandemic, toilet paper is important.
Yeah.
So she gave me those. It was really good, and I was helping her to install the infrared light in her closet.
Mm-hmm. It's so interesting that she was 90-some years old and she was still working on her healing. Isn't that
she
awesome?
told me that ever since that she did a hair test with me, and she went on the food plan, and she was so diligent. She was cutting. She said all day long cutting vegetable and stuff. I really appreciate it. And she was eating nado. She made nado, and she made nado brownies multiple times. She is diligent. So when she passed away, she passed in sleep. It was really nice.
That's what we want.
That's what we want. All I pray is good death. I don't want to be all toothed up or hooked up and be wailing around. I don't want that.
No, I just want in my sleep, have a good dream. Bye-bye.
So then, how did you start your journey? Like, seriously.
So even before I met Shui, I always used to be a very intuitive person. Before I met Shui, I had been going from doctor to doctor because I had chronic constipation. So I was born constipated, and then they had to change my formula to lactose-free formula. My mom could not breastfeed that much. So right then and there, we can identify that there was a microbiome deficiency. And there was also a lack of safety, probably, of why my digestion was turned off so quickly. So nervous system and microbiome from the very start. Then that went away. I remember that when I was maybe already like in late elementary school, middle school, I was doing pretty well. Going to the bathroom, I thought, I'm not really remembering if I went every single day, but I don't remember having complaints about it. So then when I was in 10th grade, 15 years old, I went on a missionary trip, which was beautiful, to Costa Rica. This is in Central America, and we stayed in an indigenous tribe place. and it was very far from the capital, and everything was very remote, and the huts that we were staying at had huge bugs, and the bathrooms were just not good. And so I used to be so everything had to be like very clean or safe or whatever, and I didn't feel safe going to the bathroom, so I held it in for like a week.
Woo!
I held that in for a week because I genuinely didn't feel safe to go to the bathroom. And ever since then, I have not been the same. It's been 11 years now from that, and that kickstarted my constipation issues again. So a lot of people don't believe that the nervous system has something to do with it. It totally has something to do with it.
It has totally. And then sympathetic dominance is is not a biochemical reaction to start. It's actually a choice with your mind. Your emotion, how you feel, emotional health, not safe, or you have an urgency to do certain things. That is a decision. You have to do those things. You have to worry about those things. So it's not like because our body is this and therefore we do extra things. No. Or because our body is this and that, we start to worry more. No, it's actually from the mind.
Yes. And I was so young. I didn't have the skills and that I have now to know how to calm down and rest and digest. And then that started a vicious cycle. So I held that poop in for a whole week, and then that probably altered my microbiome.
Yes.
Because then that started probably the SIBO. And then it became a vicious cycle because now it's biochemical. So now we have a big problem. Other than probably the parasites that we all have, that I already had. Everything made it worse. So then from that point on, I went to doctor to try to solve what was happening to me. And I remember just noticing that eating pizza or eating hot dogs or stuff like that really made my stomach blow up so much.
Whoa.
So I started eliminating things, but then I went to doctors and they had no answers for me. They would take x-rays and they could see that my bowels were full, but they had no answers other than just doing laxatives and cleaning out. And then eventually I went to a gastroenterologist in Puerto Rico. He had Masters of Public Health too from NYU. And he was the only one who told me, you have irritable bowel syndrome. However, no solution. No treatment plan. And just lactulose. They sent me home with lactulose. So then I intuitively started since they gave me no solutions, I said I have to take care of this myself. So I intuitively started noticing things that made me feel better. So for example, one of the things that I did not know this before, my body told me that it's not the best. Cold water. I stopped drinking cold water. I only drink room temp water. That was really triggering my issues. I stopped eliminating I began eliminating many processed foods. Many processed foods. I also noticed that I had to sleep in a certain schedule. So if I stayed up too long, the bacteria in my stomach also began producing gas and getting out of control. So I started noticing all these things. So when I got to Shui Chen, I was doing intuitively
many fundamental things intuitively.
Many fundamental things, and I knew there was a connection there. I just didn't have all the knowledge.
I was very surprised that you were already doing those things, because Chinese medicine do say that we want to drink warm water, and also things about the different time schedule our body worked, and what else you were saying, processed food, ultra processed food, that you just intuitively knew what your body would be most benefit or harmed by certain things.
Yes, and this is 10, 11 years ago. So there was no ChatGPT. There was no me putting into Google my symptoms and looking up treatment plan. This was just, I was noticing what my body reacted to. And then I was trying. And so eventually I came up with my own treatment plan, which is very simple and now is very basic. And I do much more than this, but it was basically drinking 3 liters of fresh spring water, room temp, and then trying to exercise, walking, and then sleeping enough, and eliminating processed foods. And that's what I was doing. And eventually things started to get a little bit better, but every now and then I would still have big blow ups. And every time that happened, it was when I was really, really stressed, going through school, final exam, or something happened. Every time. So my body did not have resiliency.
The other day you were telling me that you realized that when you went on the full program of the nutritional balance program, you realized that sugar craving no more and something else is more regulated. In the very beginning, maybe you're just doing one supplement at a time, but until you start to incorporate the whole program, you notice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even from one supplement at a time, even when I was only doing, I remember I started doing
Child
kelp.
dose. Yeah.
Yeah, and even on child dose. So at first, just to backtrack, at first I was doing just kelp, Paramin, and zinc.
That's the fundamentals.
Just 3 fundamentals, no hair test, no anything. Just with that alone, I felt like I felt changes going through Michigan winter and Michigan summer.
That's awesome.
Temperature regulation much better, mood much better, energy much better, focus much better, just with those 3 alone. And obviously reducing toxin load. So at this point, I was learning so much from Shui and reducing a lot of toxins. So eating mostly organic food, changing my personal care products, stop using so many cleaners, all of these things. So just reducing toxin load and doing just the fundamental supplements, I felt so much better.
Amazing. And then you gradually add more, or?
Yeah, so then eventually this happened I should say that this happened because I lost 2 persons in my life that were so important to me and so special. One of them was my dad's mother, my grandmother, and then the other one was my mom's dad, my grandfather. Both of them very special to me. Both of them raised me, and I just saw how the medical treatment that they received was just not good, and it was not effective, and it was not diligent, and it was just not capturing everything that they needed. And so each heartbreak brought me closer to just the truth and to realizing that I really needed to work on things now.
Last year, early in the spring, that you finished internship before I did. I was probably another 2 weeks or something, and then you were about to start working. You already got job offer, and I said maybe this is the time to visit Grandpa. You said, yeah, we can do it after summer or something like summer. I said, what did I say?
You said, no, we have to go now. And you were right, because he died 2 months later after we went. So we
just had that feeling that God told me, this is time. We have to go now. So we went. It was so good to meet him. It was so amazing. He was a grandpa that was so amazing, so admirable.
So really amazing. And so much energy, right? Can you please tell about how this was 2 months before his death? Can you tell what you felt from his Shi and like how he looked and what he did?
He believed things that he actually executed through and through. For example, that he showed us his chickens. He had the fighter chickens, and was winning first place and everything. And he was showing me the chickens. They were beautiful cocks. But then there was like supplement, like bags of supplement, vitamin B's and blah, blah, blah. So I says, Grandpa, if you can eat what you feed your chicken, those supplements and stuff, you'll be doing great. And he was just smiling, and then he was showing me a poster on the wall, like a news clipping saying that the Cuban cock was like world-renowned cockfighter winners. But he made that with the local hen, which is from Puerto Rico, and then make a new breed. That was even better than the Cuban cock. So he has been winning almost every single game that he showed me. And he said he wanted to get ice cream and gave us extra money to get ice cream. And he ordered some exotic durian flavor.
Tamarind.
One's tamarind, one's durian. The spiky plants that smell like
No,
look like
that is
poo-poo inside.
yes, that is in our language is guanabana.
Guanabana! Yeah, we brought home for grandpa thing, and then they said, "Do you want some?" They offered me a spoon.
Yes.
No, thank you. Too, he was so fun, and he was so smart too.
So smart. And you remember? So I remember too. Like when I started with Shui, I was learning so much, but as I kept researching online and everything confirmed what Shui said, and I would text her back. I said, "I read this about what you said, and this and this and this," and I would soon just spread the news, right? I would talk to my mom, I talked to my friends, I talked to everyone, and if Shui would check the receipts for her supplement, and she could see different people ordering and me ordering many times for different people, different addresses, because I was slowly putting everybody on the fundamentals. So I was letting everybody know this is helpful, blah blah blah, and all these things. And when we went back home, we had tried to get Grandpa too on that treatment protocol, or at least some things to help. But he was so, he died 2 months later, but he was so lively. Remember, he was fighting with us because he wanted us to get each our own plate. We said we only want one plate. He said,
I know, he took us out, and he graciously treated us before we left, but I wanted to split a plate with Amanda, not just to save money, but just don't want to overeat.
Very
right?
big plates.
But he wanted us to, he actually walked with us slowly up the hill to the restaurant, and it was so nice to us. And I remember that I went to a supermarket and I got the vegetables I could and cut them small and make beautiful vegetable stock. I says, "Where is the kidney tea?" And then they pulled out kidney tea. I says, "Don't tell nobody, but I'm making this vegetable soup stock based on kidney tea." Because what happened with his kidney? I wanted to help with the kidney.
Yes. So you wanted to help with the kid. So he had, at this point, he had multi-organ failure. That was according to the doctors, right? Multi-organ failure. So his heart was not doing well, his kidneys were not doing well, his liver was not doing well. So we were just trying everything that we could. He was retaining a lot of liquid, so we were just doing everything that we could. Swelling, yeah. So swelling in his legs. So we were just doing everything that we could to help the situation. And even you said when you saw him, his eyes were so clear.
His eyes are so clear that the white is white. There's no vein. So apparently at that time, the liver is working properly. There's no jaundice of any sort, but it only showed the kidneys as the problem.
Yes.
That's why the kidney tea we use is liver kidney teas anyway. I don't know if we actually went to the garden or somewhere touring, and I pulled some dandelions, put in there. I don't know what I did, but I did what I could.
We chopped so many vegetables. You chopped so much cabbage and carrots and so many vegetables. We did so much stock, and then we put it in bags and we froze it, and then we gave instructions and we said this is for Grandpa to drink.
Yes.
And so we went to see him every day, and he has so many stories for you.
I know.
He was saying so many
He was
stories.
able to say the engineers whom he worked with. He's able to say the first name and last name of these people.
Yes, self-trained mechanical engineer. So he taught himself. He worked for StarKist, the tuna company. He was fully bilingual, one of the only ones in our family, fully bilingual, and very smart man. And we believe that we could have extended his life a little bit more if we had just supported his organs a little bit. But anyways,
remember you told me about the potassium being so high, this and that, and then all of a sudden they say, the recent test is so good. Potassium was 0 on the blood test.
Yes. Well, he also bragged about the doctor let him have 0 cholesterol. So, Grandpa really just, he knew what he knew, and he did his best for us. And, even at the very end, like, he was thinking of his girls and saying who's going to take care of the girls. So at the very end, he was still very alpha, very sympathetic dominance is probably what played a really big role in him getting sick like that. But he loved us so much. He did everything.
He did. He was so good. He said, Shui, as long as I am alive, you can stay in my house. We have 4 bedrooms.
He said, this is your house.
Yeah, he was so good. Dramatic change this year in your life.
Yes. So after that, that was so much pain for me, that I decided, and I was up until this point, I was very diligent. I was doing my fundamentals, and I was very low. I mean, lowering toxins wherever I could. Like, I just kept learning and learning by myself and with Shui, and I'm very diligent cooking organic and avoiding toxins and doing all this stuff. So that's where I was. And then I just also throughout our internship, our dietetic internship, I saw so many things about how they treated our patients and everything that I just decided I needed to go full in. I also got my first job, and one of the things that I spent my paycheck on was doing my hair test, right? That's my priority. So I did a hair test with Shui, and
what did you find?
Things came back. Remember, everything that we expected. So there was some sympathetic dominance. My kidneys were not doing so well, but that correlates everything with being an old soul. So we know that. And there was poor elimination patterns, right? So poor eliminator, things that I knew. So not going to the bathroom, constipation, not being able to sweat, all these things. I knew all these things already. The hair test confirmed these things. And then Shui made me a treatment protocol, and I got to work. And then throughout this time, I have only been doing really just children's dose, and we have to retest to see if we were successful or not. But I would say I've had so many successful.
Must be because your moon started to shine. And right now, when I look at the fingernail, this fingernail used to show a lot of the kidney blockage. Right now, it's almost transparent. You're making progress. And also, your body temperature, your aura is different. I can feel so much heat right now coming from you.
Yes. So all of these, so slowly I could feel myself becoming much more yang, like as time went on. And I was only doing children's doses because I am kind of small person. And so only doing children's doses of my program, doing the kidney tea. But then it was when I started really just realizing that we have to make time for our wellness. Otherwise, we will have to make time for our illness. So really every single day of the week, almost every single day, I try to do at least one thing that will replenish me, right? Because we're constantly doing things that deplete us. Constantly. We work, we have toxins around us, we go on the car, we're constantly depleted, we have fights, we have laughter, we have all these things, but we don't ever do anything to replenish. So then every single day I've been working really hard on at least doing one thing. So either it is the near infrared therapy, coffee enema, kidney tea, anything that really just helped me. One of these days, even though I was doing the supplements and all this stuff, and I was really, really backed up. And I'm trying to remember what really made me just say, like, I'm done. Like, I was just so I think it's realizations that you have over time. And I just said, I don't care anymore. I don't ever want
and then you contact
feel
me.
like this again.
I show up with the tubes. And
the crazy lady shows up with some tubes.
I see coffee too.
Yeah, everything. You brought
jars.
everything. You brought everything. I said, can you please help me do this? I had previously, when I was a child, I had many enemas. That's how they used to help me. But I was traumatized for a while because I didn't want to go through that again. But this time I just said, I don't want to feel like this ever again.
That was a life-changing moment. I was so glad. I rushed out. I got everything prepared and it came, and then we did it.
Yes. And so you helped me through it. And really, I think that the community aspect and having each other, that is also healing. Because if you weren't there, I probably could not have done it. Because it was it's so nerve-wracking for me, and it's such a sensitive topic, and it's something that I've carried for so long. Like everything in my stomach and in my pelvic floor feels very contracted, like very not safe. And so for you to be there to support me, it just felt like, okay, I can do this. We can solve this.
Yes,
like
it's doable.
It's doable, and I can work on it. It's not like it's controlling me. Like it felt like it was controlling me, like I was at the mercy of going to the bathroom or not. Now I'm not.
You make the decision to change something, and then I just happen to be there to help. And then that enables you to realize you can change this about yourself. No more in the shadow of the past. And can you talk a little bit about how emotional actually affect our health? And a lot of time people don't realize.
Yes, so throughout this time too, one of the things that I really, and I knew this from when I was young, so I was very intuitive, and I knew that I was very sensitive, and I felt feelings deeper than a lot of people around me. Like for example, some people are okay, like screaming and slamming doors and doing all that stuff. I was very affected. Whenever I saw stuff like that, like I would cry or get very nervous and anxious, and I was just felt very different than a lot of people around me. And people were okay fighting. I wasn't okay fighting. I wasn't okay having conflict or raising my voice. So I came across a beautiful community of women who, her name is Veronica. She is Waking Womb. That's her name. And she practices somatic healing. And so this was all happening when I was living with Shui and going to school. Everything was such a transformation period. So I was doing many, many different things to really...
But very consistent too.
Yes, very consistent. So many different things to really just better myself and be the best version of myself. So then I started doing somatic healing. And for those who don't know, somatic healing is like therapy, but it's based on feeling your feelings. So instead of talking about your feelings, which is cognitive-based therapy, we are focusing on just feeling them in your body. So this is identifying, like for example, when you feel anger and your chest tightens up, it's about getting familiar with your body sensations. Your body's always feeling it first, even before you think that you're feeling it. But so I started practicing that. And one of the things that Veronica told me, was that, people don't continue coming to me. People actually learn these things and they eventually know how to do it for themselves, and people stop coming to me.
That is the whole point. What I want to do is to educate people. That's where the master of public health. We're not here to disable people, like they always have to come. We're here to enable the people.
Yes, exactly. Empower them and give something that Veronica always says is, I am just helping you remember. So your body knows all these things. I am just here to help you remember, but actually you know already. So anyways, I started doing this therapy, and oh my God, my life really just with everything, because of Shui, because of school, because of Ann Arbor, Michigan, which is such a beautiful, special place, because of doing this therapy, everything really started changing for me. And when I started metabolizing my feelings, that's what it's called. You metabolize your feelings. So what that means is that you're actually digesting the things that happened to you that you don't even remember happened. You're digesting them so that your cells can let them go.
Cool. That's very important.
So I practiced this for about 2 years. That's what I felt that was the most that I needed to digest 24 years of trauma and 24 years of just living life. We all have traumatic experiences. That's something that is common for everybody, because we're children first, and we don't know how to interpret things, so everything is unfiltered going in. You know, when someone screams, when you see something bad, everything's unfiltered. When you're an adult, you can rationalize. When you're a child, you can't. So I started processing all of that. And oh my God, I started remembering things that I didn't even know, that I didn't even remember. In sessions with her, I started seeing things. So I would see images so clearly in my head, just everything that, and this is my body remembering. I remember one of the first session that I had actually was, she told me, so everything with her is low and slow. You know, she doesn't practice cathartic moments like that, or she said that could re-traumatize more. She is everything takes you step by step. So in titrating is really important. So she just said, think about something that annoys you but doesn't make you so angry. So we don't want to go into deep so quick. So just something that is annoying. Just with that, I remember thinking something, my whole body started shaking and I could not stop. And it wasn't me. I started shaking, and then after I stopped, I felt like a weight had come off of me. I felt like I was 5 years old again. I had so much energy, and just everything was new again. And then in other sessions, I started also realizing how every time that I saw Veronica, or I was practicing somatic healing, I would unclench my jaw, I would relax my shoulders, I would breathe deeply. I will also notice my digestion turn on. So I would start like letting go of gas too, even if I had not eaten. It was just parasympathetic activation. Instead of sympathetic activation, parasympathetic activation. So all of these things, just relax, letting my belly relax, everything. I started noticing every time we started the session. So I knew it was working because that was my body by itself doing all these things.
So when we do hair tests, that's actually meant for emotional health. Okay, that's what start is the emotional health. And through Dr. Wilson's teaching, there was a lot of emotional indicators like abuse patterns or this and that, and very interestingly that I learned from my patients, because what I see is this. I just tell me about, is there anything that you are fearful, not feel safe about? And when people start to tell me, and I start to understand about these abuse patterns, and we always talk about that we store our emotions in ourselves. That's there's cellular memory of the past, but I truly learned about that was through my patients.
Yes. So all these things, one of the things that Veronica also talks about is your fascia. You have fascia tissue all over your organs and your body and everything. And so when we are in fight or flight for so long, sympathetic dominance, you start to tense, you start to contract, and this fascia gets really dry and it gets very adhesive, like with each other. So what happens is that eventually you have impaired nutrient absorption, and you have your meridians are just not working well. You know, the energy is just not flowing because you're in protection mode all the time. So one of the things that nutritional balancing and somatic healing can do is rehydrate that fascia again, so then that they complement each other. Then the nutritional balancing can even be more effective. So one of the things that a lot of people we see is that they're doing one or the other. If you're only doing one or the other, you might not be as successful.
Fully benefited.
Yeah, as successful. You will be successful. I would say you can be 70 to 80% successful. But if you really want to really just elevate and get to your higher self, you really should try to do both, because there's just things that are really just stuck in our body for so long.
It is.
They're not letting new things come in. So for me, it was when I combined both that I really, really just learned so much about myself and develop resiliency to go through hard things. So that doesn't mean that I'm never scared or anxious or nervous again. It means that I know how to bring myself back. Right? So one of the things that I learned through somatic healing too is that your nervous system should not be calm all the time. That's not healthy. Being calm all the time is not healthy, because think about it. In nature, you could not defend yourself. If you were calm all the time, you would get eaten by the lion. Your nervous system should be receptive. What does that mean? And flexible. That means that you are in fight or flight when you need to be, and you are in rest and digest when you need to be. A lot of people are always in fight or flight. They're always stuck
people
there.
I tested are like that.
Yes.
And the one symptoms you notice is that your hands and feet are so cold, because all the energy going to the heart, because you worry so much or care about other people so much. And we need to bring that back towards us. That means that we have to take care of ourselves first too.
Yes.
So when we're fight and flight, the energy all come to the core. It's
Yes.
like a fighter. Then your hands and feet are cold. So when you ever feel that, I feel that a lot of times myself, and then I know I need to do pulling down exercise. That's just a type of meditation. And then also it's just to relax my muscle. And I do cupping too. It's physically break
Yes.
the fascias.
So again, I've been doing one wellness activity at least every day, trying to do it because we are busy, and I know a lot of people always tell you like, oh, I don't have time to do this. I just don't have time, blah, blah, blah. Nobody has time. You make the time, right?
Everybody had 24 hours.
Exactly.
It's
so
how we use it.
It's how you use it. And you know, there's different things going on. And I can't say that I'm doing this 24/7. It's not about that, right? If you go on vacation, if you go visit family, take care of things, that's fine. But when you come back, you have to realize, I haven't done this for a whole week. Let me try to do something, right? So yesterday I just came back from a very stressful family trip, and I've been reincorporating all my practices. And I went in to do NIR. I set my timer for 30 minutes. I feel like I'm at the point that I am, my body is yang enough to be able to do 30 minutes, right? Not everybody can do 30 minutes. So I do 30 minutes. I feel great. And I went in there and I felt so deep asleep. Like, I don't even remember when I fell asleep. I was just laying there and I fell asleep, and then I only woke up because the timer went off.
Good thing there was a timer. Always set timers. Otherwise, you'll be well done.
You'll be fried like a fried pasty from the farmer's market under the light. Yeah. So I set time because I don't want to bring my phone in there. I wanted to just relax. So I set my timer, and then that woke me up, but I fell so deep asleep. I could tell I was exhausted. So that's what I was trying to do, is replenish what was depleted. And then today, just like that, I'm also going to do yoni steaming, or I may do iodine sponge too as well. So every time trying to do things. And also, since I am younger than 45 and all that, I still have my period, so I also have to take in mind that there's many things that I can't do when I'm on that period time, because my body's very becoming very in and all that stuff, so I have to just let it rest. So the other 3 weeks of the month, I'm just constantly doing things, so that week I can just rest and just let my body do its own thing.
Even the super yogurt that you will use less L-Reuteri, but you use the full strength of L-Glycerin and Bacillus coagulans, because the L-Reuteri may make your period like more blood flow into that vagina area. So because like you said, under 45 years old still menstruating, then you just customize your nutrition. Did that help you, the super yoga, replenish your microbiome?
Yes. So one of the first times that I had super yoga, I noticed that I was really going to the bathroom with no help at all. Like not even parasite cleanse or anything. This was before parasite cleanse. And I noticed that actually instead of constipation, I was having a little bit more diarrhea, like not explosive, but like loose. A little bit more loose. And so I noticed that there was a change coming on. So that's something that we also need to realize, is that when you start nutritional balancing, sometimes you're having the in-between reactions, right? And that doesn't mean that something's not working or that it's not gonna work. That means that it's working. That you have to just go through that in between reaction. So I noticed that right away. And then now that I have been doing, I've been doing my supplements. I've been doing Yoni Steam or iodine sponge, or I've been doing super yogurt, coffee enema, NIR. I noticed that my stomach area feels warmer. I noticed my digestion feels better. Like I can digest different things and I don't have so much gas or so much bloating. I do notice that my bloating is also a little bit less, and I've been going to the bathroom regularly, so at least once every day, if not multiple times. And that was a big change, because sometimes days would go by, I would not go at all. And so all these things I'm noticing, especially just digestion and clearer focus. So no more cravings, I don't have sugar cravings, I don't have chocolate cravings. So I would crave chocolate all the time. If I did not have Paramin, I had to have chocolate. So no chocolate, and just really better blood sugar management as well. So before, if I skip even one meal, I would feel really, really bad. Now I still can't get away with it too much because I'm still working on my liver health, but I can see more resiliency. That is the key word here, is resiliency.
I can see that it was disappearing. Your 11th.
Yes, so it's still there, but it's doing much better.
Wow, I can hardly see. That was just an indentation from the fascia being glued together. Because you need to
Exactly.
really relax because it's being fixed like that. So I need to do a little cupping there too. Because we've been actively healing, and sometimes the old marks set in a way are glued together like the fascia.
Yes.
So we just have to kind of just relax.
Just
You
relax.
You're glowing in this time from 23 to 22. I met you in 25.
So we met in 2021, and then 2022 I started the fundamentals.
Yes.
And then now full hair test last year, and then now we're gonna do another one, and I hope, my goal is to continue to be doing even more regularly. And now this is just a way of living for me.
Saw the dramatic change, steadily change took place over time, and I saw you transforming into amazing woman from a girl. And my kids are Gen Z, and you're Gen Z. You're just totally different Gen Z. You're also Gen Z. Like we talk like we're sisters, and we went to places. We care so much about this world. Very compassionate.
Is that a scorpion?
Huh?
Is it a spider or a scorpion?
It's spider.
But why does it have that coming out of it? Like, why does it look like that?
No, listen. If you come down to the ground, you put it like that. Do you hear me? You put this down. Your job is put this over it.
Wait,
Over that.
Wait,
Don't go down.
Can we close
break
it?
his leg.
Can we? I'm trying.
Ready.
Espérate.
My plan was to preserve the spider and bring it outside. But things didn't happen as planned. She
Immediately.
jumped forward, smashed it. Did you say mashed it or smashed?
Smashed it, yes.
Smashed and grinding. I was so scared. I don't know who cleaned out the mess. I was afraid to see a flattened, juicy sample of a big.
Tarantula, you said to me, I don't know you. How do you do that?
You jump forward all the whole time dancing around in case the thing fall off. When it fell off, it's like shooting string, so he will be safe landing. But guess what? Not so safe. Landing is the worst decision he made. And you jump forward. How come you jump forward with such force? And I did not know who you were.
I don't know you. How do you do that? I don't know you. How do you do that? I have no idea. That is, the body remembers. That is somatic. That was just, I had him at my level. I was not getting him get away. So I squished him. There was no wasting no time.
It's almost a tarantula with all the fuzzy It's so big.
It was so big. How did that get in there?
How did that
Sam,
get in there? That is
Sam.
the worst part,
Ven
not
acá.
knowing how they get in. Because his friends may come in.
I learned so much living there. I mean, I'm telling you, living there was therapeutic experience in every sense because I had to learn to not be afraid of so many small animals. I caught mice, I caught the tarantula, the raccoon.
You let the raccoon
poop
go.
on the-
We caught it about 12 of all kinds of animals we had to take care of. But the one time I wasn't there, I don't know why I wasn't there, and there was a raccoon she had to deal with, and I don't know how. Tell me.
I caught so many places, but I was such a scared child before, but that house made me face all my fears.
I know,
at
and the
once.
raccoon at her bedroom, like next to the bed, there's a window. Raccoon knock on the window and saying it's time to fill the bird feeders. And it left a huge turd. And we both were looking at the turd. Was this human? Who dared to poop on our porch? It was so thick. It was 1 inch in diameter.
Sam, ven acá.
Who gave? And but we look at the poop. It had sunflower seeds in. Who could that be? It was a raccoon. Then knock on the window. Eventually we caught it. Tell me about why you set it free.
I was so scared because that raccoon knocked on my window. I screamed so loud. That raccoon, the one we caught, you left the cage and you left the house, and then I woke up one day and I saw the raccoon. It was baby raccoon, and it looked at me with these eyes. So I felt so bad. It looked into my soul. So I said, okay, I'm gonna wait a little bit, see if Shui come back. The day passes, does not come back. And then I called rehabilitation places and people who rescue animals, rescue places. All they said was you can let it go, or you can shoot it, or you can take it somewhere.
You
I
can
said,
eat it, Mason.
no, I need someone to come over now. So then nobody came. Eventually it started raining and the raccoon was getting wet. So I said, I don't want to leave it in the rain. So I moved the cage to under our canopy in
You
our
say
balcony.
it was heavy.
It was very
Hurt
heavy.
the arm or something.
And I tried to feed it organic carrots. Did not want organic carrots. Only like Panera chips. So, so then, eventually, I said I have to do something. It was looking at me so sad. I said I could not keep him there. So then I opened it and ran quickly inside. And the raccoon waited until I was inside, looked
Left.
over at me, and then ran away. We were looking at all the pills do. The pills, the lower blood pressure, deplete potassium. But potassium is what lowers blood pressure. So we said, what the?
And what about metformin? I have people who have been on metformin for 20 years, was never told to take vitamin B12, and those people have flat nails. And those people are vegans. They already have a vitamin B12 deficiency. And then now the head is not working properly.
Exactly.
But they look good. Metformin, 20 years. What do you think? What kind of stuff we're doing?
This is just not right. Not right. So I was noticing these things and we were asking these questions. However, nobody had answers.
No one had answers.
How come? How come this is the case? Nobody had answers. Not even our
Everybody
good
put their
professor.
head down, study the paper. We had questions. But we sit in the front row. We didn't care. We had
were
no
so
shame.
mad. We were
So mad.
saying everything because this is really, I think the point here is that this is time and lives that are lost due to this. This is
Truly.
heartbreak and painful. It's not just one thing, right? Is we have lost our people to these things, and who gives us back our people? Nobody.
No, but we learn. Death is awakening. A moment
Yes.
for the living to do better.
Yes.
But
Yes.
still, sometimes we're frustrated about some people, but guess what? Their time hasn't come.
Exactly. So all we can do is give them the good news, help them get on the right path, and love them. I have seen love transform too. So that is something that I have learned too in this time, is that sometimes the best way to support, not enable, it's not the same, is love them. Is
Love
tell
them.
this is what you should be doing and this is what I think. However, I I am here. But it's not enable them. It's not like you can go and do drugs and I'll pick you up from the party
Here's the
every
needle.
night.
Or
No.
you can use needle. That's what
Exactly.
Canadian
No.
government did
No
wrong.
needle from me, but you know what? I will drive you to the job interview. I will drive you to the rehab center. I will do these things. That is love. It's not enabling. It's not here's the needle, here's the drug. No. It's when you want to do the good thing for you, I am here.
I'm here too.
Let's do it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.